Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And it's beautiful to see you. I've entitled this video Mental Health. First and foremost, to all my new subscribers and to all you beautiful people out there giving me your beautiful comments. Let me tell you, it's greatly appreciated. I'm just a working man. I'm a working class man. I've made my life's work has been working with ease. As you can see, I am a worker. I'm a grafter. I like to create things. My line of work is sort of bathrooms and central heating and all that stuff. So I'm very down to earth. I have to have a very common sense approach to everything. When you work on gas, plumbing, heating, bathrooms, tiling, you have to have common sense. One thing I was born with is common sense. Sometimes it drives me mad, but that's just how it is. Hello, Merv. I'm just a man. Hello, mate. How we doing? Hope you're all well out there. So I've entitled this video Mental Health, and I'm going to talk to you about what I truly believe it is and where it all manifests from. When I was a kid, no one ever spoke about mental health. Now, I'll be 53 next Monday. I know I'm too handsome to be 53. I'm feeling fit. I'm doing a lot of working out. Exercise is fantastic for the mind and really good for the body. Physical exertion is really good. It's focused. I'll never forget watching a documentary quite a few years ago about a young lad that had ADHD or whatever these labels. There are labels everywhere. It's like someone, and you know, like the lads and the girls in the supermarkets with their ticketing and they're pricing up shelves, and they go to the beans and it's 26 pence a tin of beans. Set the thing. It's labeling. We live in a world full of labels now. When I was a wee kiddie, there was no labels. There was not really any labels. I can never remember my family sitting around tables going, "Oh, did you hear about Beryl? Oh yeah, they carted her off to the nut house. She's got mental health issues. She's got ADHD or tuberculosis." Or you never heard of it. It was either someone was a bit Lulu, and they had many institutions. I grew up in South East London, Peckham, Goldsmith Road. I don't know if any of you know it. I lived in Goldsmith Road for a very long time in a not Europa, and I've not seen it yet. I've not been able to find the link for it. I don't know if that's on YouTube. To be honest, I've not been busy. I haven't really had the time. So there was asylums, but people were either doing bad things like murdering, raping, pillaging, peeing themselves, going out, running around naked and stuff. And these people, generally, people come along and said, yeah, they need assistance. And we had people in these places giving them assistance. Well, we like to think assistance, but there's some very nefarious things that go on in these places of restitution, where a soul gets so low they need their brothers and sisters to hold their hands out and actually help them and rehabilitate them. That's not happening. But now everyone's got a label, and what I find quite fascinating is that when you speak to people that have got ailments, whether it's gout in their toe or they've got type 2 diabetes, it's like they put a badge on. Oh yeah, it's like Nan out of Catherine Tate's show. Oh sweetheart, yeah, my bunions are playing out, and everyone wants. It's like they got a badge. They want to wear this thing. They want to take ownership and control of whatever it is that they're told that they've got. Now that's a really dangerous thing. For me, when everything's only popped itself up in my life, I strive to beat it. I've been working out, doing a bit of gym work for the last 4 months, and I feel so much better and stronger than I did before I started. For sure I do. And I could feel my body starting to get a little bit weaker. I'm past my 50s now. But I said to myself, actually, no, I'm not going to tolerate that. I know that men's testosterone level drop after they get a certain age and it peters off. And men produce more of the female hormone called estrogen. That's why we get the old man boobs. That's why I've got this stick. And I'm crunching this all the time. So we need to keep our testosterone levels up. But rather than me walk into that ailment and say, oh, yeah, I'm getting old, I'm not. I thought, no, I ain't doing that. I'm going to try my hardest to do something about that. And for, God bless, my brain said, do it. And I feel a lot better for it. A lot stronger. I can lift more, pull more. I'm doing all right. So, well, it made sense when I was angry, sad, frustrated, and now I'm on my mission to wake everybody up. God bless you. Thank you, Jesus, for the enlightenment. Bless your heart. Now you understand TR when BNP turned down the bankers. I fell for it 2010. I'll have a watch of it, actually, on BitChute. Thanks, you just shared the link. I will tune into some of that. I normally take my little thing into the bath with me and watch stuff when I'm in the bath. I sit on this and I watch all sorts of documentaries. I was watching one the other night about Noah's Ark. Absolutely fascinating. They've built a replica of it in America. Maybe one day they might take something in there. You don't know. They might be preparing for another flood, but we will never see another flood. You will never see another flood on this planet. If there is ever a God-given divine intervention thing to wipe out humanity, it won't be water. It'll be fire and stuff like that. So that's the next one if it ever comes, and I truthfully hope it don't. But we need to make sure that the Creator don't turn and shut the door on us. Because we're His children, and we need to have that communication with Him and know that who we are. Because if that all turns off, then that's bad news for the Earth, because the Earth's vibration is very low. But we're lifting. The humanity is coming up. So anyway, mental health. If you're going through a life now, I want to create a scenario for you. So you come into the world, you don't know nothing, you're sucking on your mother's breast, life's good, you're not worried about school lessons or anything like that. So for the first few years you're growing up to probably 5 years old, all you know is the bosom of your mother, decent grub, a nice warm bed, bedtime stories, and none of these things of the world really affect you, right? Yeah. And then all of a sudden you start getting into the schooling. You go, please, preschool, normal school. And then normally you're getting into a bit of a fight there. Someone's pulling your hair or someone's wiping your face on the tarmac. And that's when all this ill feeling starts coming in. That's when all this, oh my God, life is not as perfect as I thought it was. Because you wouldn't, up to the age of 5, you wouldn't have had any mental health issues. You'd just be out there playing in the street, playing with your friends. That's what we do. You couldn't care less. You was just in creation. You was just enjoying yourself. Now, from the schooling, then you come into the workplace, and it's all about, you seem to strive to get all these things that the system offers, like licenses and this, that, the other, houses, cars and all that. But because we as people never truly have total control over our estates, and we find that, well, if you don't pay this, you're going to lose your house. If you don't do this, you're going to take your kids. This is where it all sets in, because we're not a very decent people. And that's the truth of the matter. I'm just going to say it how it is. As a people, the system that we believe works for us actually doesn't care. Because if you go to a police station, they say, you're not on our system. Are you known to us? Well, what do you mean, am I known to you? Am I an alien or something? What's going on in your system that I'm not part of? It's a them and us. So you can go to your doctors and say, Doc, I've got all this mental health issues. And the doc can give you a packet of tablets this big and you can knock yourself out. You can spend half the week passed out on the couch. But you're never going to address the root cause of the issue. And the issue is that none of us are settled in this country, because none of us have and can completely at any one time properly relax and go, yeah, man, I'm enjoying this. No one can take my home. No one can take my kids. No one can take my car off me. And that is what breeds a good, solid foundation for your soul and your spirit. Does that make sense? But we find ourselves all the time facing these letters coming through. If you don't pay this, we're taking it away. You've got a court case coming up because you've done 36 and a 30. All the time we're going to live in this system where this is perpetuating all the time, and we don't do nothing about it as a people and come back to decency and morals and respect. The mental health is going to go off the Richter scale. You can have more mental health people, you can have more this, doing that, but we're not addressing the root cause. We're not addressing where the problem starts. And the problem starts for me is because we're disenfranchised as a people, and we're basically always begging and trying to dodge that bullet. Does that make sense to you people? If we were well-rounded and I got to my 20s and my house had passed down from my family and their family before, and it was all ours as it should be, and we was all just living our lives, and providing we didn't go against the common law, no one could come and touch our stuff, no council could kick us in the bits, no one could take our kids, this, that, the other. I'm pretty confident that we wouldn't be feeling like this, and we wouldn't have all these mental health issues. All right. And they're so quick. Oh, he's had an assessment. He's got ADHD. Oh, he's got an assessment. He's got Asperger's. Labels, 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 labels. And we mold in to that label. Someone tells you you've got cancer, the biggest news, and the truth bomb drops, and your whole body descends into panic, fear, panic, fear, panic, fear. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. And although there's all these treatments and stuff out there, in the back of your mind all the time in your subconscious is the fact that this could be curtains and this is the road of that slippery slope going the other way. Yeah. But what a lot of people with cancer should do and be brave enough is to go, I'm not going to let this beat me. And I don't care even if it does. I'm going to live every day telling my mind and telling my soul that I'm going to kick this grandmother right out of my body and it is not taking me. And you'll find that your body will help you. You'll find that your body will listen to your mentality, because when we get into stress, up goes our cortisol levels. That's where all the problems start, because we're not just vibrating as we are supposed to be. We're not supposed to be in the system as it's currently operating, ladies and gentlemen. So the system can put all these different measures in, all these different labels, all these different doctors, all these different tablets, but nothing is going to change. It's going to spiral and get worse and worse and worse until we as a country and as a people address the root problem. And the root problem is none of us feel safe and secure. We're always 3 mortgage payments away from repossession. We're always kicking the can to earn them shekels. None of us have got the time to breathe. We're always worried about how we are outside, whether someone sees us with our children and thinks, oh, they're abusing their kids, I'm going to get on the phone to the police. We're a nation of collaborators now. We are a nation of collaborators. And personally, I think we should feel very deep shame about the way we are. I really do. We have no one in the system that actually really cares, because everything in the system is driven to create revenue. Didn't know if you know that. When these people say they care, it's crocodile stuff. It's like they show the emotion that they don't care, but they wouldn't be doing it unless they're getting paid. That's the truth of the matter. That's the truth of the matter. It's not a vocation for these people. It's a living. It's a job for them. So they're getting 30 grand a year to deal in this. Of course, it's an industry. It's an industry. But until we address the root problem and tackle mental health head on and underline the root cause, and the root cause of unstable feeling, the feeling that at any moment someone could come around and take your house, your kids, your cars, your this, your that, and make you feel so unstable, and that the police can come around and tap on your door and knock on your door for a little civil matter and bash you up and do this. That's the problem. Until we stop abusing children at schools and making sure kids go through schooling without all these issues, I really can't see any of this changing, apart from it being a cancer system that it is, getting bigger and spreading even further and further and further. And at some point, there has to be, I do believe there's going to have to be some snapback and a reset in man's thinking. There's got to be, because we are in a system now that is kind of devilish. And all these people in the system, oh, I'm your mate, you know, you've seen the copper come round. All right, mate, tell us what happened there. Yes, we have a cup of tea, bomb, bomb, bomb. And then when you told him bomb, he changes. In that split instance, he turns into the devil. You've all witnessed it yourself. I'm pretty sure if you've ever had any interaction with the old Bill to soften you up, they play good cop, bad cop. You never know where you are. You never, ever know where you are. And trust me, they're not your friends. They're really not your friends. They're only out to fit you up, to make money. They're not out there for the common law no more. They're out there to set you up and to stick it to you. And I hate talking like this, but that's the truth. So when they go, all right, mate, yeah, oh, tell me what happened. Did it really? Oh, yeah. Oh, come here, I'll give you a cuddle, or put a copper puts his hand in your back. He's saying there going, I can't wait to nail this bastard. And that's how they think. That is how they think. They can't wait to nail you to the cross. They can't wait to put them bolts through your wrists and crucify you. And the minute that they've got what they want, watch them change. Watch them turn into that devil, that Luciferian, blood-sucking thing that wants nothing but to take your homes, your kids, your properties, your cars. That's why none of us feel settled, ladies. I've worked out at the age of 53 that is why we're all so insecure. We don't really know where we're going because the system has made us feel so insecure about every multifaceted layer of our lives. We're not secure. We're not secure because why? Our lives are not based and built on solid foundations. There is not a system there that assists you. Now, if people like me run this country, the system would be set up to assist you. It would be set up to care for you, to love you, to give you all the things that you need so that nothing ever happens to you. I would love to see that. And I think that there's a time coming where that might just happen. I feel it in my heart. I feel that we're coming into a time now. We've got celebrities speaking out. Not that I'm bothered about celebrities, but they're now being brave. They're speaking out. We've got Denise Welch, Robbie Williams. We've got Anna Breeze from the ITV and the BBC presenter. We got so many people now. We've got Lawrence Fox, who's a fantastic actor, by the way, whose acting career now hangs in the balance because he's turned the other way, and the system will now come at his heels like a devil because he's bringing about their end, and they don't like what he's doing. But he's going, I don't care. I'm going to speak my freedom of speech exactly as I want it, and no one's going to stop me. They've watched that film. You were saying, what is happening? Boom. Okay, I'll give it a watch. We've always got the bailiff, you ain't paying a bill, you can't pay this, or we're going to come round your house, take your stuff. I hate it. I'd throw them all in the Thames with all their money and see whether they can swim. I really would, because there's no decency, no honour in these people. And the whole system is geared up about stripping us, keeping us in this debt-based system. Well, and we put on smiles, we go out for meals, drinks. Oh, you're right, lads, yeah, but deep down, well, I've got to get to work Monday. I've got to make that dollar. None of us feel safe and secure anymore. Davey Wilson, hello, gorgeous. Mikey Reynolds. Oh, son. Bonsoir, monsieur. Nice to see you now. I'm talking about mental health, Mike, and the fact that because none of us have a resonance of wholeness, like if you get to 5 years old, you're in your mother's bosom, your parents are looking after you, you don't know what it is, this real world, so you're whole. And nothing bothers you. You couldn't care less about mortgages and stuff like this because it's not part of what's going on. But then as we get older, we go to school and then there's a little bit of fighting, a bit of bullying. And then we all try and impress other people and we're not wholesome. And then we get into the system and it's like you've then got to dodge the bullet to keep your cars, keep your homes, keep your kids, keep all the bailiffs away from your door. We've got no wholeness. We've not got a system that's set up to help us. We've not got a system that cares about us. We've got a system that fights us, the people, and we need to shut it down. As a country and as a people, we need to shut it down. Now, if people like me was in power, the only people paying taxes would be corporations, business. Nobody in their private home would be paying any form of taxation whatsoever. And your family's lineage, all your families, you would inherit all your family's properties, this, that, the other. Straight off. There would be no more scalping you all because we've got to a point now where the people are down here and this corporate governance with all their plush buildings and billionaires, they're going in for the big kill now with all the mask wearing and other mental health issue. Can you imagine the kids at school in 3 or 4 years' time wearing masks all the time? They're going to be petrified to say boo to a pigeon. They're not going to grow up strong, courageous, spirited, because they've had the spirit taken out of them, because the mask has demeaned them, because their emotions are not being picked up, they're being spoke to like robots. I drove past the school this morning, the teachers are out, the headmaster, whoever has a primary school, I do believe, and they're booking each one in as they come in. When I went to school, we just all flew in through the gates. We got in our classroom, Bob was all playing around, bum, 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 and the teacher go, you here? Yeah, we're here, and we sit down, we do what we're told. But it was a different scenario. And I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be born there going through this stuff. It's like going into a Nazi Gestapo concentration camp. It's not about teaching, it's about indoctrinations. And this mask business is not about a virus. It's about control. It's about, you're going to be wearing these masks for a long time. It's not about a virus. It's about control, and you will do what we say. That's all this mask business is about. Nothing else. So please, if you can, don't bow down to these satanic people. Don't bow down to them. Don't do what goes against your moral fibre. Most of you mask wearers out there, you don't want to do it, but you're doing it because everybody else is doing it. And this is another issue. The government says you've got to pay your road tax. Why? Because everyone does. Well, I'm not everybody. I'm an individual. Yeah? I'm not everybody. I'm not into this communistic system of, oh, you got to do it. Everyone does it. And that's all this country is now, this ethos. Oh, we're all in it together. No, we're not. We're not all in it together. That's a lie. That's a big, fat, hairy testicle lie. We're not all in it together. We're not. If you think these people that sit up on high, like Boris and all that, live the same lives as you, pay the taxes like you do, you're mistaken. They don't. They operate in a trust relationship. Everything's done for them. They don't worry about nothing. So they create the system. So don't think we're all in it together. We're not. We are not all in this together. They let you pay for the benefit of death. Exactly. Now, where I've been this morning, this woman lost her husband a couple of years ago, and he was an old American Air Forceman and he'd done time during the war and then the Vietnam conflict, looking after all the jets and stuff. I don't think he was a pilot. I think he kept all the machinery going, you know. And he had to go into a home because he got dementia and he was all over the place. And even when he died, she got a bill for about 6 weeks worth of food. And she paid all the home costs out of her own pocket. Lord knows how she did it. I mean, that's just unbelievable amount of money. And they sent her a bill for the food that he hadn't had for these 4 or 5 or 6 weeks. And she said, well, he wasn't there. He went elsewhere. They said, well, we put the food to one side and it went to waste. It's just mugging people off all the time. It's just mugging people off. It is just mugging people off. We've really got to pay special attention to our loved ones right now, our elderly ones, because I'm telling you now, and I really have a heavy heart when I say this, if you put your elderly into a nursing home or anything like that, I'll bet you a bottom dollar that within a few months they're going to be dead. They're going to be off in a body bag and incinerator, and that's going to be the end of your beautiful loved one that you remembered on this earth plane, because that's what government do with them now. The elderly are a pain in the arse to the government. They want rid of them. They don't want them. They don't want the elderly. Now, don't sit at home if you're in your 20s and think, it don't affect me. It will do one day. It's going to be much worse when you get there. You imagine the ones in their 70s and 80s now in nursing homes. You wait till you get there. My good God. They'll probably be taking you out the back and putting a bullet in your head because they don't want you. You're just a pain to them. You're not productive. The only people that this state party wants now is productive people, paying taxes, this, that, the other. That's what they want. They're not interested in people that actually cost them money. They want to get rid. And they're trying their hardest to get rid of them, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you. I sent you a couple of emails. Have you read? Let me know. Not yet, Dave. I'll have a little butcher's. Mikey Reynolds said it's state genocide. It is. But the point is this. Mental health comes and emanates from the state party. If the state party, excuse my French, just left, I was going to swear them, but I'm not actually. If they just left us all alone, all right, just to live our lives and be wholesome in our families, in our equity, as it used to be, we would hardly have any mental health issues. We would hardly have any mental health issues. There'd be virtually none. There'd be no need for these big pharmaceutical companies. There'd be no need for these big mental health hospitals. There'd be no need for all these people in white suits pretending that they care. But they couldn't give a rat's monkeys back door. They couldn't. They really couldn't. It's a job to them. They go home and sleep at night. They couldn't care less for you. Don't listen. If you get to know people out there in the everyday street and they put their arm around and say, I love you, and you're having a couple of beers, that's probably genuine. But anyone in the system that snuggles up to you, they're not being genuine. They're not, because they've sold out to the system the majority of the time. Those are extra 20,000 people who died on a pension of £500 a month, save the exchequer 130 million a year. Boom, there you go. Good maths. And I don't know how a pensioner could survive on £500 a month. I've really got no idea how a pensioner would survive on £500 a month. It's time for us to turn this ever revolving door. And we need to have big people again and very small government. Very small. Very, very small government. We need to have a government that doesn't handle all the business sectors and all the money. We need a government that only focuses on morality, morals, the moral compass, what's right for you and your families. Not this business sector where they're all just talking about money all the time. They don't talk about morals no more. They don't talk about God-given rights. They used to. That's what that building was all about. Westminster Abbey was our original parliament. It's a church. And to call themselves ministers, I tell you, let them go and rot in hell, because to call yourself a minister means you're a man of God. Now, I'm a minister. Yeah, I am a minister, and I've had my ministry up and running for about the last 8 months. And I could never, ever, as a minister, defile myself and do the things that they're doing to us on an everyday basis. It's sick. It's gone beyond a joke, and I hope you can all see it now. And I really do believe that the system is changing. I think the people are really waking up fast now. I mean, my good mate, learned friend Mike Reynolds, for him to be so awake and so passionate and to be so tuned in to what it is that we've been doing all over these years, it's just amazing. For people that I do work for, that tell me, like Middle England people, that they said we've turned the BBC off. For the BBC actually to be taking off its news off 6 o'clock and 10 o'clock news will be going over the next few years. The BBC have come out of a statement and said, yeah, no more. Apparently, the Sun did an article earlier today saying that they've been testing these Rona 1984 viruses, inoculation jabs, and they've had to suspend doing it because people are really going downhill quite badly. So that was part of the Sun newspaper today. They've done a part on the people in Birmingham have suspended giving people these Rona 1984 jabs, vaccines. They've halted it because quite a few people have had real bad reactions to them. So let me tell you, make no mistake. Look, listen, Pete, I can't say to you enough, don't call the police. They're not worth calling. Even if my van got nicked off my drive, I would not ring them, because what's the point? You're dealing with the master race. They don't care about us anymore. They really don't. 666, the word Egypt is mentioned in the Bible 666 times. Quite a fascinating fact. So the point of this video tonight was to talk about mental health. And I've been on 28 minutes. We're going to do half hour. I don't want to bore people and put them into their beds early. And if you want me to come around and tuck you in, just say, do not have the jab. It's pointless. They can't cure the common cold. So absolutely. And what you've got to understand is, I'd hate to think how many thousands of people a year go and have this flu vaccination. I've had my flu jab, son. Look at me. My nose is running. Oh, I'm spitting stuff everywhere. Don't worry, I'll be fine in about 3 weeks' time. Still 65,000 people are dying a year of it. It don't make sense. You'd think that if they had the flu vaccine, they wouldn't get the flu and they wouldn't be dying of pneumonia. Wouldn't you? You'd think that these vaccines, oh, yeah, I've had the flu jab. Oh, I'm all right, son. I'm going all the way. But no, they're still dying. People are still dying every year. Thousands and thousands of people die of influenza. Are they fudging the numbers? Without a doubt. But anyway, that's on the side. That's for another day. The mental health for me is, if we continue in this current dogma that we find ourselves in, the current system, which is set up to fail, free mortgage payments away from repossession, your car's never yours, you've always got to do and bow down to the system for your car. They can come and take your children now whenever they want, if they deem that they've got temperatures and showing symptoms of this thing, and you might never see them again. Who knows? I don't know. That could be maybe. You don't know if they take your kids into care where they taking them? That's the big thing for me. Where they taking these kids? If the kids are showing, where they taking them? Where they taking them? I personally think that when this thing come out and the 2 jets landed in Heathrow and the 4 horsemen coaches took all these people to quarantine camps and they put it all over the BBC, I think they were gently asking to people to watch that and see whether they would passively accept concentration camps. I do. I personally believe that these quarantine centres that you had no choice but to stay in for 14 days was a pilot test for concentration camps, albeit posh concentration camps, but a concentration camp nonetheless on England's soil, in England, on English soil. You think about that for a minute. Is that ever right? I don't think so. And we've seen these camps there's people done videos over the years that they've gone and done these private investigations, and I'll take me out off to them. They've been awesome in their diligence. And they've gone to these places. I shall find some videos on them. I'm just pulling my shoes on. Find you some videos. And these camps, strangely enough, are all security fenced and some pillboxes, like big towers. And it's all your shopping centres and all that in there. And I'm thinking to myself, what are they? And but not only how could they fill them, the FEMA camps, but I'm thinking, how would they get loads of people into these places? I'm thinking, surely the English people, the Welsh, the Irish, Scottish would never, ever tolerate this in their country. They'd be like jumping on this lot of potatoes going, fucking pull them fences down. What do you think this is? This is England, the home of common law, the home of freedom and liberty. Oh, no. I'm thinking, what is the catalyst for these people to start filling these places up? And it looked quite sinister. Well, we're in the perfect time now. If your kids test positive, are they going to these places? Who's out there checking these places? Are they filling up or are they still empty? It'd be handy to know if any of you out there that watch this, if you're near these FEMA camps in the UK, in England, if you can get to them, go and check them out. Take some videos. Let me know if these places are filling up and people are passively going into concentration camps, having their liberty. It's like taking a Rottweiler and putting it in your cage for a day. Don't worry, son, I'll come and clear your cage out later. Can't leave. You can't leave. All your liberties and freedoms have gone. I need to leave. I need to go out in the real world. No, you're not allowed out. What do you mean? We're going to jab you. Going to give you some jabs. You got mental health issues. My mate said to me yesterday, he was talking about doing sovereign decrees and documents, and he said, never ever put your blood seal, never prick your finger and put your blood on a piece of... I said, well, why not? Pricking your fingers, it's nothing. It's common sense. If you want to put blood... He said, no. He said, they do it for mental health, self-harming. I went, shut up. So I promise you now, he said, if you do a document where you put your own thumbprint in your own blood, they do you for self-harm. I mean, a little prick in your finger. But yet the old bill will beat you black and blue in a cell. Yeah, they stick their finger up your bum in a police cell nowadays. They don't care. Kent police have been beating the bejesus out of people for years. But oh no, you prick your finger to put your... Oh yeah, you got mental health issues. Bing, there goes another label. There's your 26p bean can. Chink, chink, chink. Oh, we're on spam now. That's £1. Change the settings. Chink, chink, chink. So you've got your spam, pound, ADHD, bomb. Your beans is Asperger's. All these labels. I tell you what, people, it's sick. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. All these labels of people, all this paperwork, all this legislation. Please, people say you're walking into a concentration camp. You're walking into a world that is very unfamiliar with how we've experienced things for many centuries. Why are we allowing these people without our mandate and without every bit of legislation should have to go out and be voted on by you lot, the 65 million people? Should have to be voted in by you. It should go up on a bit. Look at the internet now. It's fast and wide. Everyone and his brother's dog's got access to the internet. I mean, I'm watching on 3 devices right now. I mean, come on. We're going to vote this legislation in for the coronavirus 1984 that we can take your kids off you. Let's put it out to the 65 million people and you all have to go yes or no. Yeah? Computer says no. But they're not doing that. They're behind closed doors, behind men with weapons, with guns. Now just writing all this stuff off. Yeah, we'll take the kids. Yeah, we'll take the cars. Yeah, we'll do that. No problem. I'm telling you, that's so dangerous. That is so dangerous. Young men fight wars, old men start them. That's right, brother. Can't have war to get rid of this. This is what they want. Absolutely right. I mean, look at my mate Delroy, I was chatting with him last night on his radio show, and I was talking about this 23-year-old kid that's just been stabbed in the neck. He obviously won't have mental health issues anymore, will he? Because he's dead, fouled by his country, fouled by his people. But the manhunt, there was a picture of some Somalian, whoever he is, and the police say, manhunt. Just put his picture up. Anyone knows him, call us. We'll go round there and pay him a visit. And if that was someone else that fitted the mainstream narrative of how they want to portray people, their names, their addresses would have been blasted all over the radio, the newspapers, everywhere, and made their lives and their families' lives absolute hell. Now, murder don't know colour. It certainly doesn't know colour. But that's the point. This media system is it's not impartial, is it? It's not impartial. It's not true. And we seem to love it for some reason. But I'm hoping that's changing. I'm hoping people are changing their ways and changing their minds. I really do. The media are the first to be held accountable. Then the lefty commie do-gooders. Yeah, but we've allowed it. We've allowed this to happen. We've allowed this to manifest. We've got to stop this. And the mental health. Everyone's depressed. Everyone's on a Prozac or this, that, but we've not addressed the root cause. If you've not addressed the root cause, it's like eating 1,000 pizzas a day and 100 bottles of Coca-Cola, and within a week you've got type 2 diabetes, and you go to the doctor and you're sitting there and he goes, so what's the problem? Oh, I don't feel well, doc. He takes your blood levels and he goes, oh, you've got type 2 diabetes. Oh, fantastic, doc. Right, I'll wear that badge. Everybody, I've got type 2 diabetes, gives me special needs and this, that, the other. Bob's your uncle. What have I got to do, doc? Well, take this tablet 10 times a day, yeah, and crack on. But the doctor's not said, what's caused this? Let's have a look at your diet. What are you eating? Oh, no. He's just dishing. He's just going and pressing print, and the computer goes, yeah, we'll have a prescription. It's exactly the same with the system. If you can't give someone a tablet for mental health when you've not addressed the underlying issues. And the issue is wholeness, oneness, respect for all one another, and someone that's got a life where they can't be touched and not living in fear of a system that's going to come round and smash their back doors in. If we didn't have all these issues of worrying about the system smashing us up, coppers nicking our homes, cars, assisting bailiffs, this, that, the other, we wouldn't have this issue. No one would be on the medication. No one would have any labels of mental health. Not many. Not many. So this is what's happened. And this is not going to get any better, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to see more mental health people. You're going to see more mental health staff. In the Priory in Maidstone, they give people electric shock treatment where they put probes on your head and electrocute your brain. But they've not addressed the underlying issue. What has led this individual to be like this? Now, I'll give you, for instance, and I swore I would never end up this way. The guy that I did my apprenticeship with is a guy called Neil Perkins. And I don't know whether he's still alive because I'm 53 and he would be 25 years older than me. Flash, big cars, big houses, the lot. Turns out his business went tits up, lost a lot. Brownett and Perkins that were doing site work everywhere. He's driving around in big flash BMWs. His wife went round the corner and was shagging someone else because he was always out working. Well, I'd left the firm. And when my old father-in-law, bless his heart, Jim, was in hospital with cancer, he was in a ward called D2 in Medway. So we went up there, me and my wife at the time and my ex-mother-in-law. And we walked in and I come face to face with my old boss who looked like the guy out of Taxi with the big hair. He's pushing a drip He's got a white gown on and he's spaced. He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. I said, "You're right, Neil." Like, he didn't even know I was there. Didn't have a Scooby-Doo. So what triggered him? The system. All the pressure. Ding, 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 ding. Business, money, wives, marriages, mortgages. That's what triggered him. That's what tipped him over the edge. Now, that man never come back. He never come back. He lost everything. And I don't think he's ever come back. And if he's still alive, I'll be very surprised. And it's sad. It's tragic. Because the system doesn't support stuff like that. Now, I've turned my back on the system. And the reason why I've done that is because I like wholeness. I like to know and be able to breathe easy and know that I'm pretty confident that no one's going to come around my house and take this and do that. I mean, you never know, because that's just how the mafia rolls. I mean, we all cross our legs and dot our I's, but you don't know. But that's what happened to him. Completely lost it. In a flick of an instant, he'd gone from a normal kind of guy, very stressed, very arrogant, they don't know I am. I'm this big, powerful man with big business, this, that, to being cuckoo, pushing a drip through an hospital because the pressures of life had just tipped him over his. You've got to bear in mind, that's 1980, 1990. That's 1990. 30 years ago. Boom. Yeah. And so that's the reason why everyone's got mental health, is because the system, the police, the courts are nefarious. There's no love. They don't care. They've taken over this country. It's a private mafia. There's no support for families. My mate Chrissy Morris went to, he'd done a Channel 4 documentary called Battling the Bailiffs. I was going half hour ago. He'd done a Channel 4 series called Battling the Bailiffs, and I had a very small cameo role in that with Channel 4. And I cut a lot out because I wasn't happy with the way they portrayed a lot of the stuff that I did. And really, you only see me running down the road chasing the Kent police and the bailiffs with this big Channel 4 camera. Which, funnily enough, when Kent police went running down the road, I thought, they're scared. They don't want the people of this country knowing what they're up to. Because if you had righteousness on your side, you wouldn't run from anything. You wouldn't run from a camera. But Kent police become ballerinas. They couldn't get away quick enough. And the bailiffs are flying down the road from these HMCTS courts. Nefarious bunch of people. What was I saying? It's gone straight at me. Hang on. Oh, yeah. So the Channel 4. And Chrissy, in that documentary, in Battling the Bailiffs, come across a struggling family with 6 kids in Essex. And they had like a little chalet bungalow, and the kids were all happy, all joyous, all having a nice time. And they were struggling. There was £100 a week short of making their ends meet. And when the police turned up, and Chrissy was there with a few, because we used to do a thing called, we had a bailiff team. Back in the day, we would, if someone had a bailiff coming around, like a mother and a thingy, this was about 10 years ago, we'd get about 40, 50 people go around the house. It was really funny to see bailiffs turn up at a house and there's 40 or 50 people in there, all not moving nowhere. And then the bailiff go running off down the road. Very funny. That's the power of numbers, power of people. But this one family was £100 a week short, and they were going to be evicted. And I don't know whether they ever were, but it was the last scene in that documentary called Battling the Bailiffs. And when the police turned up, they said, if you get evicted, them kids are going into care. All 6 of them. Now, when you consider that the social services and that farm the kids out about £500 a week each, big business. We've just become business to these people. We're just business propositions. They just love the money, and we've become their entertainment. So, but rather than just give this family the extra £100 a week it needed to bring up these 6 kids in the family unit and with good consciousness and a good vibration, so hopefully they bring the next generation of decent people. Oh no, the family loves broken families. The family loves broken children. It loves broken mum and dads. It likes people having the bejesus and the shit kicked out of them because they're so easily controllable. Well, guess what? That's just about to change. We will take back control. I promise you, we will do. But I need you. We all need each other. We need to come together. Wouldn't it be nice if we could go down the pub after this for a small libation, but no pub and social distancing sick. Yeah, I won't. I'm not frequenting these places with all the bum fluffery that's going on right now. And to date, I have not worn a mask. No, not worn a mask for me. No, can't force you. Oh, and by the way, if this is tuning in tonight, I just want to share this with you before I disappear. This is someone sent me this, and this is true. If you are concerned about getting molested, you might wish to just get a copy of I know it's an Act of Parliament, but we know they love their Acts of Parliament. And it's just an act because Shakespeare was an actor, right? Why did you shoot that man? Well, I was acting in the capacity. I was an actor. You was on the stage, was you? Yeah. Okay. I just see a man kill another man. I didn't see a uniform. Just a man-on-man thing, yeah, right? And that's the truth. That when you get back to the common law, that's what you'll see. You'll see a man killed a man. You won't see a uniform killed a man. You'll see a man killed a man. Anyway, this picture, which I will share with you, talks about, this is under exemption 2, section A, paragraph 1, regulation 4 of the Health Protection Regulation 2020 coronavirus wearing a face covering in a relevant place. The government advice is not to challenge people to wear a face covering. This is for good reason. If you do so, you and your employees may be personally liable for an offence, liable on summary conviction to pay up to £5,000. Section 112. It's all about the money all the time. Aiding contraventions of the Equality Act 2010. An act of disability discrimination in order to pay to an individual who suffers injury to feelings, just feelings, compensation between £900 and £9,000, section 119 remedies of the Equality Act 2010. You might want to go and verify that for yourself. But we see that copper drag that and basically beat the bejesus out of that lad the other day off a train because he wouldn't wear a mask. It's got to stop, ladies and gentlemen. There probably could be a civil war if this continues and the system continues to beat us, the people, like it's beating us. There could be civil uprising. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I thought I'd leave you with that. I'm going to go and start cooking some dinner because the missus will be home very, very soon. I do all the cooking because I am a Jedi. I'll see you all soon. Stay safe, stay blessed, and remember, keep the faith. There's a lot going on out there at the moment, but never ever lose faith. Keep that spirit going because you'll be shining on people soon because they're going to be so kicked in the bits. They're going to be looking to people like you to inspire them. So be that inspiration, be the one that goes out and regardless of all, you just keep that light shining, keep your candle on and don't turn it out. And we will win. We are going to win. Trust me. It's getting too big now. So I'll see you all soon. Europa, I'll watch it in a little while. God bless you, Jesus Jones. He's put up the link now. I'll watch it. I'll see you all soon. God bless you all. Stay safe. Take care. I love you.